So, you're playing Hunty Zombies and you're wondering, how do I master my weapons quick? Well, lucky for you, as I'm going to be helping you with exactly that, as weapon mastery is the first step to becoming as strong as possible within this game. So with that being said, grab some popcorn, subscribe, and let's get straight into it. Right, so we're back with another Hunty Zombies banger. You already know it, and in today's video, I'm going to be helping you with mastery. You already know. And if you don't know what mastery is, it's basically when you level up your weapon and every 25 levels or so, you gain a new little buff to your weapon. For example, if you was to level any weapon to level 25, you gain plus 5% movement speed. Level 50, you gain plus 2 base damage. Level 75, you gain plus 35% skill damage. And level 100, you gain a new ability on your weapon. Now, everybody wants the level 100 ability as it does so much damage, which will allow you to kill raid bosses a lot quicker, as majority of the time, you have to rely heavily on these V abilities to clear it quick. For example, back in the day, you could use Reaper's Scythe and Bow to do an insane amount of damage to the Reaper's raid boss. Although it's gone, both of these V abilities do a lot of damage on their own. Of course, there's level 100 abilities like Shoes, which were very good when Shogun was released. And it was like one of the first ways to clear a raid boss on your own, using the Shoes. And of course, the Wizard's V ability is very good. And Blindfold. We already know it's a good V ability because the base damage on the abilities that we already have is insane. But I haven't got it maxed. So I've made this video not only to help me, but to help you guys. How to get mastery quick. Now there are a few ways of doing this, but they're all basically the exact same. Now, if we was to go to press start, you can see that there is 4 modes. Endless, Raid, Payload, and the one that we're focusing on, Campaign. This is because it gives ×3 mastery. If we was to go to something like Endless, you can see we don't get an increase in mastery. Now, I will note the mastery does not increase if I was to put it on Hard, Nightmare, Hell, or even Normal. Quite literally doesn't matter the difficulty, it's more on what map you choose. Now, of course, there's 4 maps in the game currently: School, Sewers, Carnival, and Island. And right now, from my research, School is by far the best to do, as once you get to the last bit, you can just leave and then rejoin, as the last bit is a little long. But we're going to be doing Carnival and School, and just comparing to see what truly is the best method, as I've seen a lot of people say that School's better, and I've seen a lot of people that just do Carnival. Now, in my eyes, I do Carnival, because not only are you getting XP, you're getting a lot of money, but if you're just going for mastery, then listen to this method, which we're going to do. So we're going to load up School Nightmare. Again, it doesn't matter the difficulty. You could just do it on normal if you want. Right, so we're here, and of course, I'm trying to level up my Blindfold. You can see I have it on level 65, and when we hit level 75, we get that 35% skill damage. Level 100 is what we're aiming for end game, though. So without further ado, let's just go. Now, of course, we just want to clear it quick. Some weapons, of course, you can clear it quicker than others, but you're trying to master a weapon, so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what weapon you're using, but of course, some weapons have better abilities for clearing quicker. In my eyes, Blindfold is probably the most tedious, as a lot of the weapon abilities are close range rather than long range. They're very close combat abilities, whereas if I was to use Wizard, for example, I'm over here, and it kills them, just to put it into comparison. Now, obviously, this method is a tiny bit boring, because of course you're just quite literally going through just killing zombies and repeating. But I would recommend putting like YouTube on in the background, or maybe just listening to some music or something. Right, we're here at the 3rd level, and once we do this, once we kill these, so we don't want to go down there, okay? We just want to leave. Now, you may be wondering, why did I just do that? Why did I just leave after completing the first 3 levels? Well, that's because when you go down there and use the radio, you are going to be having to kill the zombies for about 2 minutes, which is really, really long, and the zombies don't exactly spawn as quick as they should be in my eyes. So that's why most people say to just leave. Now, in my eyes, I think that's a tiny bit slower, because you have to put into account that you have to kill all the zombies, leave, rejoin, load into Hunty Zombies, and then join again. I think that's tedious. I think that's really, really tedious. So this is the method that I do. Now, I'm also going to tell you a build, because 1, I forgot to tell you in the beginning, my fault, guys. And 2, I think this will help you. Now, What I will note before any of you say it, because I already see the comments, guys. Speed is all you need. Speed is all you need. Make sure to put your high damaging pets, cosmetics, whatever on. But use the speed passive, okay? That's all you really need. You don't need incredible speed, because at the end of the day, you're going to be clearing it, what, 10 seconds quicker? Now, if you're a massive timekeeper, then that may help you, but literally all you really need in my eyes is this plus 20% speed. And if we look at our pets, we get speed from P-Fresh, which is a dub. Cosplay pet doesn't give us any speed, but it doesn't matter because we don't need that much speed, my friend. I hate to break it to you, we don't need that much speed. Now, I will note, Vampire will also be helpful if you're that focused on trying to make a build for this, but again, it literally doesn't matter what you use. It's just trying to clear it as quick as possible. Yeah, speed, an argument can be said that it does help, but with a weapon like Blindfold, for example, you're going to have to stop to use your close range abilities, which you'll be slowed down anyways. A weapon like Wizard, yeah, maybe speed's the best way, but you're going to be saving like 10-20 seconds, and if you're a massive timekeeper, then yeah, go ahead. But if you're just someone who just wants to do it 20 seconds slower and do it consistently with your highest damaging pets and stuff, then this is your way. Now that I showed you that method, before I show you mine, I will note, of course, you won't earn any of the rewards apart from the mastery towards your weapon, as of course we did not complete the level, so we will not get the coins, we will not get the drops such as lucky spins and craftables. So if you're focused on also earning that, then listen to what I'm saying next. But if you're here just for the mastery, then that is the strategy you use. So without further ado, let me show you my way of doing it. Yep, I don't know what you expected. I love myself Carnival Nightmare. But this is how I do it. Okay, you kill these stupid chef zombies, and then you just run. You just run. Okay? In my eyes, this is still the best method for making money, for leveling up, for killing zombies. It's quite literally the best method. Obviously, Blindfold, for example, is close range, so, like, it doesn't matter if you open all the doors, because, look, we have to go back and melee them all, because, look, the range is kind of bad on these, I can't lie. Like, I could not reach that zombie from here, look. That's just because of how the ability works. But if you're using something like Reaper's Scythe, you're using something like Bow, you're using something like Wizard, then opening all the doors and then just pressing your abilities, that's just the best way. But if you have something like Blindfold, because I know a lot of people are probably mastering Blindfold right now because it is the most recent weapon right now, then this is your best way. Just going through, clearing them all, with the annoying abilities that do like no damage from long distance. But of course, raid bosses, this is your go-to weapon. Now, of course, this one's also tedious and boring. I hate to break it to you, there is no entertaining way to get mastery. That's just how the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid. So you just watch some YouTube or something. That's what I always do. Just put like a show on, watch some YouTube, listen to music or whatever, man. Yeah, just find the best way to keep your boredom to a minimum, because obviously this gets tedious. The amount of times I've tried mastering Blindfold and then I'm just like, yeah, I think I'll do it tomorrow. Like, it does get to that point, obviously. So just put, like, a show on or something. Sadly, there is no, like, proper entertaining way to get mastery, I'm afraid. So, just gonna have to bear with this method, I guess. Because the higher the level, the more tedious it gets as well, which I will note. Because when you first start getting mastery, there's not as much XP to get, if you know what I mean. Like, it's like 1,000 you need on, like, level 1. And then now I need 3,350 to master it to the next level. And it does get tedious. It does get tedious because, of course, we do get ×3 mastery. But even then, that's still nothing. Of course, I will note before any of you say it, if ×2 mastery is on, if an admin abuse is on, of course you're going to be earning it way quicker. So always keep an eye out for the ×2 mastery when it's on, because it is your quickest way. When that is on, you're going to be leveling up way quicker than if you used to do it without ×2 mastery. Or you could just buy it from the shop if you're that rich, but they do so many admin abuses, I don't think it's worth it. So I wouldn't recommend doing that, unless you're impatient like me. But even then, I wouldn't do it. And if you don't know when they do admin abuses, then join their Discord, because they always ping you when they do an admin abuse, which will include, you know, ×2 mastery, ×2 coins. Whatever the admin abuse is, ×2 mastery is on all the time. So I wouldn't worry about them not adding it for an admin abuse. But they do a lot of them recently, so I would keep your eyes peeled for any upcoming admin abuses. Of course, I would keep my eyes peeled for Saturday, as there is a new update coming out that day, which should be very interesting, because they will obviously add an admin abuse for that. But here we are, we're at the boss. I just want to say goodbye. Thank you. And yeah, that's the method that I've always done. Me personally, I've never done school up until that point because I saw a lot of people say in the Discord to do it that way. But in my eyes, that's the way I do it. It's literally probably 30 seconds slower to do it this way, but in my eyes, it's the most consistent because you can just replay rather than leave in school. Now, of course, you may be like, huh, that's kind of tedious. I know it is. I know it is. But if any other methods come out in the future, then of course I'll record them, I'll upload them, I'll let you guys know. But right now, that is currently the best method. So, what have we learned today? Campaign is the best way because you get ×3 mastery. If an admin abuse is on, then do that because you also get an additional ×2 mastery. So you're going to be getting double, which is insane. So I highly recommend update days or during the week they add admin abuses at random times, then I highly recommend doing it then because of course you're going to be leveling up way quicker and can get that level 100 ability even faster, so I highly recommend doing it then. Of course, some weapons are a lot quicker to master than others. In my eyes, Blindfold is probably the slowest one I've done, whereas Wizard was the quickest one I've done because of the abilities having so much range, so you could kill them a lot quicker. Now, if you have any other ways of doing it that are maybe a bit quicker than me, then let me know in the comments. And with that being said, consider subscribing if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace!